Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Did you hear it? Did you hear Wolfie barking over the sound of the skeleton bones a rattling? A rattling skeleton bones indeed. But welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Like I said, you know what? While I'm here, before we bust out of the Far Lands or Bust hidey hole, let's grab some of this coal. Something that's not going to make any sense if you are listening to the podcast version, but you'll have to get used to it. It's an experimental podcast format. There's Wolfie. Let's excuse ourselves. I didn't find this place to be incredibly safe because of all the trees and the creepers. They like to remain spawned under the trees, but we are back in episode 492 of Far Lands or Bust. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2015. That is going to take some getting used to. If you missed the last episode, what the heck? But if you missed the last episode, I am recording these, trying something a little bit different. Mixing it up, sir, mixing it up a lot. Trying to record these a day early and then publishing on a schedule of Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for your watching and or listening enjoyment. So I'm having to contemplate that it's not today that this video is being released, it is tomorrow. Thus giving myself enough time to say render it and upload it overnight. Whereas in seasons past, it has been nigh. Ooh, I don't have any wood planks on me. Bill nigh impossible to keep consistent with that because of the fact that I'm a single. Wolfie, I'm a single computer operation here, and the whole rendering and uploading thing tends to get in the way of doing other things. I hear footsteps. Oh, that was Wolfie. Okay. So hopefully we can appease the YouTube upload ISP gods and get ahead of schedule here. But yes, episode 492, the second episode in season 6 of Far Lands or Bust here. We are this season going for the goal of raising $60,000 for Child's Play charity. That very appropriate for Season 6, and you guys have been incredibly generous. We're already surpassed the first 100, up to $128.66. Thank you, everybody who is excited as me, for the series coming back. Hopefully you enjoyed that last little episode. And there's plenty more to come. Many, many more to come. Hundreds, nay, thousands of more episodes. If we can keep this up on the way to the Far Lands. And hopefully you stick around for all of them. I'll be testing you. There'll be a quiz once we reach the Far Lands. In episode 38, on the second day, what were the words I started the day with? It was not "and awakeness." Now somebody's gonna go back and check. Oh, jeez. So yeah, very, very cool stuff, and I'm very happy that we're back up and running here. Another thing that changed with YouTube, we were talking about the Google Plus stuff. Literally last week, I think it was, is an end of an era. You all remember that when a video was viewed. Usually, more than normal, if like within the first day, or a couple hours even, of publishing, it got over 300 views. The view counter would stop at 301, and then it would say 301 plus, because some sort of, I don't remember specifically, there's videos about why it does that and what it is. It's something to do with spam verification. They want to verify the views. Make sure they're not coming from view bots or anything like that. Woof, yeah, Wolfie knows the plight of view bots. And they've recently changed that. They did something or other to now the view count is accurate as it is live. No more stopping on 301. It is the end of an era. No more 301st viewer. That is yet another thing that has changed about YouTube. Just felt like mentioning that. It's not really too important specifically for us as YouTubers. I suppose it became kind of a meme for the viewers and commenters and stuff like that, but otherwise, kind of an interesting deal there. Let's actually, I'm still kind of low on the wood planks. And then I'll grab some of those, that wool from them sheeps over yonder. And I think we'll be all set for materials for the next little while. If I do say so myself and do. Alright, that's nice. And let's grab some wool for the beds. And then we'll continue. Oh, well, I guess we're going west anyway, but we'll continue even further west in far lands of bust. I do have a correction, a programming note to make on the last episode. I was talking about the New Horizons spacecraft, and I wasn't... It's not knowledge that most people have off the top of their head, so I kind of just guessed. And I said, I'm not sure when New Horizons launched. Was it like the early 2000s, 2001, or was it like the late 90s? It was neither. It was neither. Somebody was very adamant to let me know that I was incorrect. And there was a great tragedy had befallen my viewers being misinformed, even though I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't 100% sure. I'm not sure. This could all be wrong. And it was all wrong. Apparently, New Horizons launched in 2006. 2006. So there you have it. Now no more needing to take to every single social media platform and leaving a comment telling me so. It's all up to speed. I really hope it's not 2006 and that's wrong too. But that's what I wrote down. So that's what it is. It's in the notes. That means it's true. Even in the past, I've accidentally had the wrong date in the notes and I've said it as if it was rock solid information. Careful, Wolfie. What are these sheep doing? They're hanging out. It's like a bar. The sheep bar. They're all like up on this little platform here. Bar, like a bar, like a bar stool. Indeed. So continuing on. About the, speaking of the podcast edition, not up yet. I'm waiting for one more little not inconsequential, important to me, but a little item I'm waiting on to add to the podcast edition, but I am all set and ready to go for uploading of that. But once we get up to speed, then I'm hoping, I need to check if the service I'm using allows for scheduling. If it's the case, then I will just schedule the podcast edition to release at the same exact time the YouTube edition, special edition, the Platinum edition. The YouTube edition goes live, but I'm not sure if that's the case. There might be a little bit of a delay, but yeah, once I do get that little last item, I will start to upload and publish the podcast edition, and I will provide a specific link to the podcast website. See, now I don't want to. I'm personally not a huge fan of the iTunes, so I don't think I'm gonna publish the iTunes link, because I just know not everybody uses iTunes anyway. You certainly have that option if you'd like, but I think I'll just provide a link to the direct site where the podcast will be hosted, and we can all just have happy, fun times from there. But that's still going to be, that's might be a couple days off, and then I'll start with episode 491, 492. I'll make sure not to skip any. Somebody has asked... Well, I don't know if anybody has asked, but in the past, people have asked if I could convert the old episodes to podcasts. That would be a tall order indeed. Possible, yes, because I have all the original video files. I could rip the audio from them and publish those, but that would be kind of rough. I wouldn't count it out 100%, but I think just going forward, let's just talk about new episodes, starting with Season 6. I don't want to have to go back and do the whole backlog of 490 episodes for podcast reasons. You have my permission. There are browser plugins where you can rip and or download, the audio off of YouTube videos, feel free to go ahead and do that as you will, if you doth need to, for older episodes of Far Lands or Bust. But otherwise, I don't know that I'd be able to undertake such a tall mission. Speaking of tall missions, let's make a tall elevated hidey hole here. Hey, that's what's called a segue. And then we will continue walking, and I've got some questions to answer from people who have donated to Child's Play charity, even at the end of last season, in a little brief hiatus between June and August here. Between seasons, we've got some questions from very generous donors, so let's go to sleep and do that in the morning. And awakeness. Getting back into the swing of thingsness, right, Wolfie? You took some damage back there. Let's feed you a bone. Boop. Hey, don't know if that made any difference, but you ate it. I hope I didn't eat that. All right, let's see. We've got a question here from Hanno in Germany. Hanno from Germany asks, is Eva in any way reacting to the barking and occasional whining from Wolfie, or did she ever do so? What? Did she ever do so? That's like a past future tense question right there. Well, no, because I play with headphones and record with headphones. So there really is never a case where Eva would hear Wolfie. For those of you who aren't aware, I have a vlog channel, Kurt Indeed. It has a grand total of 3 episodes, 3 videos up on Kurt Indeed, but one of those I introduce Eva because I adopted a dog. That was well into the last season, and even there was an Eva cam briefly and for a few moments during the last Flobathon, but perhaps you're new, perhaps you don't pay attention to such things as those. But yes, I have a real-life actual dog now. But no, she doesn't respond to the stuff I do in the video games. The only thing she responds to is on the TV. If there's a doorbell on the TV, she'll think it's our doorbell, which she reacts to. She doesn't really bark. She never barks. I've heard her bark a couple times, but it's only one, ruff, and then that's it. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible impression of my dog. But it's usually when something surprises her, or somebody's coming home, or possibly when the doorbell rings. Other times, it's more of just a... It's kind of like a weird, grunt. Like, what's going on? And that's sometimes what she'll do with the doorbell. But of course, when, like I said, if there's a commercial or a TV show and the doorbell goes off there, she'll jump up and, start looking towards the door and be like, oh, somebody's here, somebody's here. No, it's nobody. That was the television. Otherwise, hasn't really reacted to anything I do here. Or like dogs barking on the TV. There was once I was watching one of the Lord of the Rings, and the one of those, I'm sure there's a specific name for them, but those big dog animals that the orcs ride did like a howl thing, and she kind of perked up and was like, what was that? But otherwise, really non-reactionary towards external stuff. Like I said, she doesn't bark at all. The quietest dog that ever was. But she doesn't like barking dogs, so walking her, even if she can't see the dog, if there's a dog on another side of a fence in a lawn or something like that, that's barking, as many dogs do. Bark, 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 bark. She's gets very agitated by that, or she gets a little bit defensive, or tries to run past that yard as fast as possible. Not a fan of vocal dogs. She is, but yeah, otherwise no real reaction to Wolfie. Speaking of which, there he is. All right, she's spawn. Dang you! This is a very large ocean. I don't think we've encountered such a large ocean. I think what makes it weird is that the sand and the land underneath it is only 1 block down. It's not really deep. It's a shallow swamp. It's almost like one of those desert lakes that fill up and then dry out and then leave all the salt. We're going to have speed trials here with hot rods and stuff once the waters subside. Indeed. So yeah, thank you, Hanno from Germany, for that donation, even over the break. Grumpy Old Man donated over the break and asked, have you ever considered going to grad school at night? I think the question should be, have I ever considered going to grad school? Full stop. I know you were thinking of enrolling full-time after you quit, but what about night school? Yeah, this is way back in the year 2011, and way back in time, when I first quit my graphic design, web design job. Not specifically to start YouTube. I was already doing YouTube as a hobby. Wasn't even a partner, wasn't making any money or anything like that. It was still a hobby. But of course, one thing led to the other, and I had, not being employed, I had more time, so I spent more time on videos, and then things blossomed from there. But I was considering, I'm like, I'd like to go back for something maybe a little bit more science-oriented. I like the geology and the space sciences and stuff, and of course in that field, those fields, I'm not sure you could do much with simply a bachelor's degree, so yeah, advanced master's or higher would be required. But that didn't last very long, and YouTube kind of took its place. I'm very happy for that, very happy for that. But no, I think that ship has sailed. Of course it hasn't. People go to school all the time in their late 30s, late 40s, 50s, whatever. But for me, I was never, ever a fan of any school, grade, high school, college, university. Just not the environment full of KurtJMac. And so I don't think I'm in any hurry. It would be neat, and well, look at this little square of land. Hold on, I need to make you symmetrical. This is weird. It's just a very perfect. Is this a chunk? Is this the size of a chunk? Hold on, I need to... You must be perfect! You must be perfect. Bing! Bong! Boom. Oop, that's wrong. That is imperfect. Boom. Neat! I dubbed this island... Square Island. Only squares allowed. So yeah, no, night school or anything like that. Not even in the least. I'm not personally interested in continuing with that. Partially, like I said, because I'm not a big fan of the school. Secondly, because I don't have any money to do such a thing, and I do not want to, this late in the game, carry on a bunch of student loan debt, which is all the rage nowadays. Just give them all the debt, all the time. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But you have quite the memory. Let's see here. Oh, we got all throughout the break our friend Cone Dodger, who we recently played some Rocket League with. Cone Dodger, you may recognize from. Ooh, this is a interesting little area here. Big cliffs and mountains and whatnot. Participates a lot in the Minecraft bingo, does a lot of racing games, and does like actual real life racing. He has like race cars, and he's installing turbos and superchargers and stuff on cars, and I'm like, oh, see that sort of stuff, and I'm like, well, maybe owning a car is a little bit over my head. But anyway, Cone Dodger has been donating to Child's Play charity for a while through Far Lands or Bust as part of he does this iRacing series where he basically, depending on what place he gets, I think, in his races, and if he gets in any incidents, he will donate certain amounts based on that. So multiple donations coming in from Cone Dodger, thank you very much. But with this one, he asked how, where'd it go? On a scale of 1 to bananas, how angry does it make you that Codemasters removed the co-op and all the good features from F1 2015? Yes, here's another question that I get a lot. When is F1 coming back with vintage beef? I don't know if ever. I don't want to make everybody sad, but the latest version, F1 2015, I think I would have been game to try, and I'm sure Beef would have been, even though we hadn't concluded the 2014 season we were playing. But there's no co-op championship season, or really anything to write home about, and I suppose they earned a bunch of goodwill, Codemasters did, with Dirt Rally. Everybody's like, oh yes, a rally simulator, finally getting rid of the Dirt Showdown and Dirt 3 kind of arcadey crumminess. they've listened to us. They've listened to the fans, and they're making the racing game that we desire. Well, I'm assuming maybe different departments work on the Formula One series, because they didn't listen to anybody. They didn't listen to any input, and pretty much released a game that was unplayable on release day, at least for the PC market. Really feature incomplete. It seems like they're constantly running behind on the Formula One. They obviously, monetarily wise, they want to get the season out while the actual F1 season is going on. But then it seems like they rush it out. Like, it seems like there was a lot of work to be done on F1 2015. And they're like, well, the season, the real F1 season is half over. We're just don't worry about the co-op. Don't worry about bugs or this or that or the other or optimizing. Just release it. $60 right now. So that was really unfortunate. So I don't know that I will want. You know, I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to developers not really. Obviously, they don't have to, like, you know, adhere to each and every one of our flippant wishes as fans, but to release a bad game or a poorly made game kind of just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. So I don't know. Well, we can't. Myself and Beef can't play that because there's no co-op championship mode. But I don't know. Maybe there will be. We'll keep our eye out for other racing games. There really aren't any racing games that have co-op, seasons that exist anymore. So who knows? We'll see. And whether as to not finishing 2014 season, it's kind of been a while. I can't really foresee that happening personally. But who knows? Yeah, who knows? Who knows, I say. Who knows? But I can't, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come back. But like I said, I would, be cool to do something with Beef again, or anybody, really. Co-op stuff, get that back on the channel. Let's go to sleep. Shall we go to sleep? Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Boop. Whoop, careful there, Wolfie. That's a large cliff that you just dove off of. Ooh, can I make this? Oh, this is going to hurt, possibly. Huh! Spelunk. Well done. Oh, careful, Wolfie, careful. Just spawn down here, Wolfie. Spawn. You're not going to spawn. Oh, where'd he? Yep, he spawned. All right, good job. Also, actually, recently, as recent as yesterday, Cone gave another donation for his weekly iRacing challenge, and he asked if you could visit or drive any racetrack in the world. In the world, what would it be? I don't know that many racetracks. As much as I like racing games and driving games and cars, I am not the aficionado that some people may mistake me. It seems like you say, "Oh, I like cars," and suddenly they instantly think that you know everything about cars. You're what's the word? I don't even know the word. You're always in the garage doing this or tooling on that or blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know. I just like cars, and driving is fun, and I like racing games. I don't know this compression ratio to that carburetor. I don't know any of that stuff. You asked me to work on a car. I'm like, I could maybe change the oil or inflate your tires to the right pressure, but that's about it. But anyway, so I don't know all the racetracks in the world. Speaking of Formula One, I suppose, my favorite track in that game was always Spa. Spa-Francorchamps, whatever it's called. It's just a really, I don't know why, maybe it's just because I memorized it well and did really well there. That big old uphill turn, the Au Rouge or whatever it's called, is kind of a cool turn. The Nürburgring is kind of intimidating, and honestly, I feel a little bit overhyped, personally. It's fun to drive in Assetto Corsa, just because it's very, it's very large and varied, and it's almost reminiscent of, say, driving on a mountain road, a public mountain road, or a public back road, kind of. But probably, maybe Spa is probably the track that I know most about as far as the layout is concerned. I've driven, well, I haven't personally driven, I've rid in the passenger seat of a car, a NASCAR, at the Chicagoland Speedway for one of those driving experience, Richard Petty driving experience thingamabobs. That was cool. I mean, that's crazy cool. Is just the speed and the G-forces going around those banked corners is kind of crazy. But you know, otherwise, I don't know that oval tracks are all that interesting per se. So yeah, I don't really, you know, I know a lot of people probably, ooh, it's my favorite track, or this, that, or the other, or some sort of history behind it. I'm like, I've raced this one in video games pretty well, so let's say Spa. Oh, man. Let's see here. An anonymous donor has asked, what is your favorite... Whoa, come back here now. Your boat. I missed the boat. What is your favorite word? Delicatessen. What is your least favorite word? Moist. This delicatessen is very moist. Oh, gross. No, I don't know. I don't, indeed. Obviously, I say that a lot. I don't know if it's my favorite word, but indeed. Baba ganoush is just a funny sounding word, is it not? So, yeah, but moist, I don't like the sound of it spoken. The word meal, like, I'm going to have a moist sandwich for my meal at the Delicatessen. Meal, when it's written, like in a book, the written word meal, I don't know why it upsets me. It's a disturbing thing. But, yeah, moist as a spoken word, meal as a written word. My least favorite words. Let's go with that. Ryan, with his donation, has asked, how well would the world survive if every single person on Earth was also KurtJMac? Well, I'll tell you, the whole population reproduction would be a problem. That might spoil things after about 90 years. So long, everybody. Humanity's been nice, but there's no way to continue it. Sorry. How well would the world survive? Everything would take place via the internet. Stores would go out of business because nobody would be wanting to shop in person or anything like that. You know, there would be no social functions of any kind. Sports would be terrible. That would be just an amateur disaster to behold. Any sport in general, really. But yeah, that's a weird thing to ponder. But good thing we don't have to ponder it. Yeah, that would be bad and boring, and everybody would just be indoors all the time. Oh man. Well, maybe not. Hiking is cool, and being outside for that sort of thing. But just in terms of social interactions, conventions would never happen. Those are the worst places to be for social anxieties. But all right, that would be a bit much, and be very thankful that that is not the case. That is not the case indeed. Oh, whoops. Well, I'll have to. I copied only half of this question. Sorry. Let's see here. The anonymous donor, not just any old anonymous donor, but the anonymous donor is how they signed it. We found him. What state do you live in now? I have yet to have revealed such things as these, although soon. I did, I suppose, spoiler alert, for those of you who are subscribed to the Kurt Indeed channel, I have acquired an action camera, and I recently got people suggested the GoPro. I didn't get a GoPro. I got one of the Monoprice. Monoprice sells an action camera, much more affordable than a GoPro, and got one of those, but I did get the GoPro suction cup adapter that I'm hopefully going to be able to suction cup to like the roof of my car, and we'll have roof cam where I'll do a drive. There's some cool roads to kind of show off the area that I'm currently residing in. And I feel like doing kind of a vlog. I don't think I want to do it live. I personally would find that to be a little bit dangerous, to be trying to talk and explain things whilst driving. So I might do like the drive, just record it, and then do like a post-commentary thing. But I'll put that up on the vlog, and the location of KurtJMac will be revealed, and much rejoicing will be had. And so that could happen soon, possibly this month. Like I said, I got everything here, and I just gotta find the time to get out and actually do a bit of driving around places, up and down. Like I was saying, those kind of cool, windy back roads, mountain roads, and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know why I was kind of holding out for like some big reveal or something like that, but it's really not that important to where a person lives, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll do that shortly. I haven't revealed that yet, but yeah, that is the most I can answer that question right now. The anonymous donor. Also, the anonymous donor asked if I could pillar up to the height limit and take a sweet panorama. Well, I did that. I did that indeed at the beginning of the last episode. Not to the height limit, but I pillared up. And actually, for those of you who aren't aware, I use this program called Microsoft Ice. Like ice. Floating block of ice. Microsoft Ice. I think it stands for Image Composite something or other. And it's basically... It's a panorama stitching program. Works really well. It's free from Microsoft for Windows. And they recently updated it, and I was a little bit concerned because they changed the way it, like, the interface and the way it works, and I was a little bit confused. But one of the things they added was the ability to make, you know, taking panoramas like I did the last time. Not intentional at all, but I ended up being able to make one of those spheres, those little planetoids with the panorama, and I posted it to my Twitter. Maybe I'll post it in the video description if I remember. But it made this really cool little planetoid. I somehow got everything, the ground up to the horizon, and then it makes it into a sphere, little dwarf planet, Farlands, Flob, and it turned out really cool. So yeah, I did that with a sweet panorama. I was like, oh, I've got to stitch together the panorama I took from a distance too, don't I? Because I took one from a distance, and I got the pillar of lava at the last F3 monument in there as well. I got to put that together as well. But yeah, I enjoy making panoramas, both in Minecraft. That's pretty easy to do. Just take screenshots and move a few degrees around. Ooh, wolves. And then also in real life, it's kind of a cool thing to do, to take your camera out and just kind of like line up your crosshairs with the horizon and then just follow it along. Some cameras, a lot of phones actually have like a panorama feature built in. But I personally like doing them myself, and then you have a little bit more control about how it stitches it together. Actually, what am I doing? Let's settle down maybe near these wolves over here for protection. They will protect us from sheep, since those are the only things they kill in the wild natively. Right, Wolfie? You'll have some company up here while I dig down for the final. Whoopsie daisy, lost a shovel. The final hidey hole of the episode. And... Oops. Oh, no, there's sand. That's not good. Oh, that's the opposite of good. Am I? Yep. I most certainly am exposed here. How dare you? Don't expose yourself. Alright, I've got to, make my own roof, I guess. Gotta do everything myself around here. Jeez. Thanks, Minecraft. Yeah, let's do that. And ooh, there shouldn't be sand, right? There we go. Perfect. Oh, yeah. And in the right amount of time, as the zombies have started to spawn. Woof! So, yes, indeed. A little bit more patience, if you don't mind, until I can get the podcast feed up and running and uploading. I'm also told it takes a few days, or maybe even a week, because I need to submit it to iTunes before it'll start to get cataloged and posted as a page in the iTunes podcast category, I guess. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy about that. That's something that's coming together, indeed. And something else that's coming together is these donations to Child's Play charity. Like I said, we had raised over $100. So keep going to Farlands or Bust. What am I doing? Farlandsorbust.com. I'm making a boat. Farlandsorbust.com to continue donating. All that money goes directly to Child's Play charity. Getting toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. Very excited about that. To continue supporting them into the 5th year of Farlands or Bust here. And I thank you for supporting me and the series. I'm not going to know which one is Wolfie when we wake up tomorrow in the next episode. Although there's Wolfie's feet sticking through the ceiling there. Oh, man. Good times. Look forward to that on Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. I'm going to have a moist sandwich for my meal at the Delicatessen.